Hello everybody, my name is Loathing, and this is actually a video response to something that... My hair is poopy. Response to the fact that my hair is poopy. Now, so, I was on the internet, as most people are that are probably watching this video, unless they have some weird download service that doesn't require the internet, which I don't know about. And I ran into this guy, which link below, who has these big claims about Anonymous, saying that they, well, for starters, claiming that Anonymous, if it doesn't operate within the United States Constitution, it's very bad. It also is claiming that the operations of Anonymous are allowing people who are criminals. He was very vague on it, so I'm going to explore that one. But he was claiming that because of Anonymous's actions, criminals are being set free, as well as he claimed that DDoS attacks that Anonymous has put on in the past and future and all that are somehow allowing the government in order to get more control. Now, I have not actually listened to any of his videos because a lot of them seem to be very rant-like, as well as very conspiracy theorist, which is problematic. Now, personally, I am an Anonymous supporter. I do not agree with everything that they do. I do not agree with some of the more shady stuff that they do. I agree with the ideal of it. Personally, I was even a part of the, as far as the privacy, promotion of privacy, I do support it. I support the idea of the person instead of the corporation. I was even, honestly, a part at one point of the Canadian Pirate Party. Around its inception, not so much anymore. I don't really agree with the leader, but that's me. But that's kind of to give personal background. So, as far as his claims, it's a 3-minute video, and it's like, they're not doing it, they're gonna do terrible things to you, they're gonna take away your freedoms, like all this very big stuff that's very fear-mongering, for whatever reason, because, and I mean, he doesn't even offer a lot of proof. He just makes these blanket sentence claims and then starts shitting on Anonymous. He has videos that detail his theories, but I'm not gonna, honestly, this guy just randomly pops up and starts making these claims. It's like one of those things where it's like, should I research this, or am I possibly going to end up beating his bullshit? Now, just for the fact of the matter, I am Canadian. That is why I have this little Canada hat purse thing. But he claims, okay, the big one that I guess I have a problem with, well, one of the two big ones, and then the third I just don't have any idea how. But the first one is that they do not operate within the United States Constitution, therefore they are a bad organization by default. Now, UNICEF, the Scouts movements, Scouts movements are a big one considering the fact that a lot of controversy has been around the fact that many of their Scout leaders have been child molesters, which is criminal in a lot of countries. Name any international non-profit any organization at all. And his weird claim is that they must operate within the United States Constitution, otherwise they are not good for you. Now, I'm just throwing this out there, but if an organization that is not by necessity, well, I guess in a way, not necessarily breaking the entirety of the Constitution, but especially a group that promotes the rethinking of the political structure and the political sphere, I don't think they really have to operate within any jurisdiction of a constitution. I think the thing with the United States is that they are obsessed with this constitution, whereas in other countries like, say, Canada, we just Charter of Rights and Freedoms, it's all they care. One section, one part, it's all that matters. That's the only thing that's important, and the rest of it is more structural stuff, but the United States seems to be very obsessed with this, and obsessed with the idea that if it is not within the United States Constitution, then it has to be absolutely no, and obviously whatever they're doing is bad for you. Which is never the case. Well, not never the case, but commonly would not be, considering the fact that Anonymous is here to promote promote the ability for people to actually think. They are the ones that are immediately saying, okay, this is a problem that as a bunch of people who are woken up, that are intelligent, that are looking at this, this is what we want to say is wrong. And you know what? They take action. But is that cannot not be said for any other cause? Are they just people supposed to be stuck at lobbying and not take any direct cause in a scenario where people will be breaking the law? You know? Now, like I said, I don't support all of their actions, so. Second one being is that the DDoS attacks somehow give the government control. And that's... I tried posting a message on his wall, and it was like, look, give me some proof, post some bills that have been recently introduced into the legislatures, into the Senate, that would make it a lot tougher and a lot, that would ramp up the accountability law-wise and the powers that the police would have. And then we'll talk about there being some sort of damage. The thing with DDoS is, unless it's a site that's directly based upon ad revenue, and you do it for a very prolonged time, DDoS attacks don't do much. It's an annoyance, it's a pain in the ass, but the real hacking doesn't go on with DDoS attacks. In fact, I would suggest that the actual hacking itself is inhibited by DDoS attacks because the hackers are also as well hindered from their ability to access the servers and access the information. So on that front, no. The third one, which I actually have a lot to say, is the idea that what Anonymous is doing is allowing criminals to get out. I don't even know what the context is because he's very vague, and it's an easy statement to make when you can be very vague, and I don't think he has... honestly, it doesn't look like he has the balls to outright say exactly what he means. Now, there are some people who have been convicted, who have been charged, who have been thrown in jail, related to things with Anonymous. That's not what he's claiming, though. He's claiming that Anonymous is allowing criminals to go free. I don't see how. I have never seen any evidence that there's ever been a situation where Anonymous has broken people out of jail. Or tried to make it so that evidence that was against people didn't exist anymore. In fact, I would say, honestly, the opposite, considering there is a case actually within my own hometown of Halifax, Nova Scotia, where this girl named Rhea Parsons was actually, sexually assaulted, and then it was followed up by cyberbullying. And when the police failed, Anonymous stepped in. They were able to gather information and handed it over to the police, like law-abiding citizens. And you know what? The majority of them are law-abiding citizens. Anonymous is not this scary thing where it's a criminal terrorist organization and that anyone that supports it is not a United States citizen. Well, personally, I'm not a United States citizen, but I'm also not advocating for people to be shooting up in the streets, which... You know what? There are some other medias that would almost in a way be advocating for that. Shooting in the streets. But I won't go into detail on that. I'm just saying, Anonymous, as far as open rebellion, not really there. Not really there. They know they don't have the power as far as have to get into a civil war. And I don't think that's what their aim is. They want to improve their country, not destroy it. And you know what? Guess what? This is to you, Mr. whatever your face is. Every single member of Anonymous is a law-abiding citizen. Every member of Anonymous is doing the same thing that you are. Trying to help people and change the country that you're living in. And by you shitting all over the fact of Anonymous is the only ones with the ball bearings to do something direct, you are instead actually doing the opposite and making the situation worse. Why? Because every single fucking time that Anonymous brings something to light, it gets addressed. And by you shitting all over them and claiming that they're a terrorist organization, you are directly impacting the way that the country works via the fact that you are silencing legal, law-abiding citizens that, you know what, have gotten their information, not necessarily through legal ways, but are using the tools they have to bring majority of the things that are illegal or are harmful to the citizens of the United States, to the citizens of Canada, the UK, the European Union, etc., etc., etc. And it is by people like you that are more than happy to spread fear and lies about somehow that they are against the American people, that, in fact, you are speaking to the American people that are actually anonymous. You're speaking to the people and trying to sow fear. And you know what? That isn't healthy to anybody. Nobody wants to start a civil war. What kind of ridiculousness is that? No one wants to start a giant conflict physically where people are throwing their arms, their guns, arms, and shooting at the American public or the government. No one's suggesting that except you. And your suggestion is that they are suggesting it, which is incorrect, factually, figuratively, and commonsensically. Because these people are law-abiding citizens that want to change their country for the better, to improve it, probably for the same things that you are pointing out that is wrong with the country, and yet, instead of uniting with the people that are trying to make a physical difference, even in the most minute ways, and you know what, sometimes not even in the best ways, but the ways that instead you are literally standing as a blockade and protecting the issues that would be changed and the situations that would be improved by Anonymous stepping in, using its social media cloud, and the people that have the ability to get the correct information. You're standing directly in front of journalism. You're standing in front of the ability of free speech. You're standing in front of the ability for a damn citizen to tell the government what they should do because they hired them. That is what you're standing against, sir. And you know what? You can do that, but at the end of the day, you are posting on YouTube, which is run by a corporation, which is a corporation that has given away privacy information to the United States government. Think on that when you're going against and saying that Anonymous is going to do all these terrible things and is going to flare up the government and start a civil war, and that Anonymous is the bad guys, when your own government is taking information away from you. This has been Loopy Nocturne. This is very out of the category. I'm sorry there hasn't been an update, but I just thought I'd have to, rant about... Because this is one case that I know there are many other cases. And I think what happens is Anonymous is often misunderstood as this big evil thing because it's fear-mongered into that way because it's against the government. And government messages are that anyone that stands against the government is a terrorist. So, yeah. But they have done good. Remember that they have done good. They have done, not necessarily within the limits of the law, but their intentions are good, and at the end of the day, they are all legal, law-abiding citizens, and the whole aim of Anonymous is to empower those that are disempowered. And that's me. That's my opinion. Thanks for watching this. I know it's like almost 14 minutes, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna thank you. Subscribe, like. The video that I'm responding to is actually going to be in the description, so just go there. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night, and that's me.